Hi, good morning and welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire podcast. If you are joining me live, please say hello and let me know what you're crafting this morning. I'm going to do a demo today. The camera has to be a little further away in order to do a demo, so I may not be able to see all of the comments, but I will do my best. And if your question is important, please feel welcome to leave it in the comments. I get asked a lot of questions about blocking, so we're going to do a demo on blocking today. Let's wait a minute and see if some people join. I think I went a few minutes early this morning. Hi Lisa, thanks for joining live. I should probably scoot around the camera just to see some names for a few minutes. Hi Edna, hi Dee. I'm not going to be able to read the comments very well today, so bear with me. In order to do a demo, I have to stand back a little further. Hi, Gabrielle, Celine, Lily, Brenda, Naomi, Carolyn. Thanks for joining live, everybody. Happy to have you here. So today I'm going to do a blocking tutorial with Wrapture All Natural Delicate Wash, some blocking mats, some blocking wires, and a lace scarf. And the reason why I'm doing a scarf is twofold. Good morning, Judy. Thanks for joining live. I thought a scarf was nice and small so we could do the demo relatively quickly in a short period of time. And it also has straight edges. And straight edges are really difficult to block when you're manually blocking with pins. And that is one of the reasons why I love to have a set of blocking wires on hand. If you don't have any of the tools that I am using today, you can find them in my Amazon shop, amazon.com/shop/Kristin Omdahl. Wrapture is available there. These blocking wires are, oh, my lid wasn't on. These blocking wires are available there, and so are the mats. So what I've done already is taken a few drops of Wrapture All Natural Delicate Wash and put it in a bowl with room temperature water. Maybe it's a little cooler than that. I think I might even use tap water. And I let my scarf soak in there for a few minutes. This is a beaded crochet scarf in Be So Fine yarn that I'll put a link to the pattern in the video description later in case you're interested in making this. I also have a really great little kit with Magatama beads and the yarn, and you can get it in all the different colors of Be So Fine yarn. But first, before I start blocking it and showing you how beautiful it is, I'm going to roll it up in a towel. When you're pressing water out of your knit and crochet projects before blocking, it's really important that you press the water out and not wring it. If you wring it like you would a towel or a washcloth, you run the risk of damaging your stitches and manipulating them just too far and in too many different directions. So it's really important that you just put pressure on it. You could even put this on the floor and stand on it. However much pressure you feel like you can put on it, it's that dry towel that will absorb all the water right out of the yarn. This is also the way that you get stains out of clothing, and I think I ought to do a couple tutorials on that too, because Wrapture is amazing for getting stains out of clothing. And if you're not really good at getting food and stains out of clothes, there are some great tips for that too. One of them is not rubbing. So not rubbing fibers and not wringing fibers are two really important don'ts when you're trying to extract water or other items out of fiber. So we're going to press this, and just by pressing it, that water is immediately going to go to the driest location, and so it comes up into the towel. So once you do that, you can take it back out. I'll set my towel off to the side. Okay, we're going to put our mats together next. So the blocking wire set comes with rust-proof T-pins. Let's see if that shows up on camera. I can come around and show you this one. Rust-proof T-pins are really great for blocking your yarn projects. You see it's called a T-pin because it is a T. One thing you need to be careful of is this rounded part up here. Sometimes your yarn can snag in there, so you want to be careful of that. All right, so the set of blocking wires came with the T-pins, and you notice that it didn't come with that many, and that's because I have them all pinned onto my board for a handy spot this morning. And the reason why it doesn't come with that many is because when you use the wires, you don't need as many pins because the wire's doing most of the work. And let's see, I'm trying to get situated here. Give me 1 second. Move my bowl. I think I might end up bringing the bowl back to prop my work up so you can see it at an angle. But in the meantime, I want to get my boards put together. I think I'm going to need 2 for this scarf. That's the other reason why I did a small project this morning. I wanted to keep the whole thing on camera. Another day we can do a larger shawl, and I'll just have to crawl around on the floor, and we'll have the camera facing the floor for that. That's fine too. Okay. These are 2-foot mats. I really like this size. And these are the ones that I bought on Amazon, and you can find the link to the ones I bought at my Amazon shop. That link is in the video description. All right, so I'm going to pull out a couple of wires. I think I'm going to need 2 per long side, so I'm going to start there. You can always pull out more as I need them. Okay, now I'm going to give you an idea of what the scarf looks like. So it's a long, skinny scarf, but it has a straight edge along both sides. And am I not in the light? Here we go. And if I were to block this with just the pins, what would happen is I'd end up creating a scalloped edge when there really isn't a scalloped edge on this one. So what I do to create a straight edge is I take a blocking wire and I thread it through the edge of the project. Now this happens to have sets of 3 double crochet along the border edge. So I'm finding that that's a pretty uniform place to weave this in and out. So I'm going to come back in front of the camera for a second here so you can see this. Is that showing up well on camera? So I'm just going in and out of the 3 double crochet sections of the scarf. And this, oh good, thanks Lisa and Sherry and Beverly. I'm so glad this is showing up well for you. I hope this ends up being a great tutorial that teaches you how to create a beautiful straight edge. So these pins, or these wires are approximately 36 inches long. So I'm going to go to about the halfway point on the scarf and then do this on the other side with a second wire, and then I'll come back and do the opposite side of the scarf same way with 2 wires. Hopefully you can see beads showing up too. These are the little magatama beads that I sell. They're in a crystal AB finish, which means they have a sparkly iridescent quality to them, and they're shaped like little teardrops, so they look like bubbles. I absolutely love them. And you can get a scarf kit on my website with any color of Be So Fine yarn and the magatama beads. So cute. Okay, so we're about halfway on this side now, so I'm going to repeat this same process for both sides of the length of the scarf and both sides on the bottom. So I'm going to do that over here because I can do it quicker when I can rest the work down. But now that you've seen it up close, you'll know exactly what I'm doing up here. I'm glad that I'm able to do this in real time for you too, so you can see how surprisingly quick this type of a project, this type of a tutorial, not tutorial, it is a tutorial. Anyway, this step of blocking it doesn't take that long to do, and it gives you a much more professional looking finish. While I'm doing this, I would like to talk about a couple of things too. I think the word blocking is something that a lot of people in the crafting community are confused about. And I think it's a word that we throw around an awful lot, kind of like gauge swatching. But I wanted to talk about how incredibly important it is to, and they're connected as well, because when I talk about a gauge swatch being a measurement after blocking, what I'm saying is this is what size your stitches are after you've introduced water to your project. And the reason why that is so incredibly important and seems like a waste of time if you're not understanding what it means is because we make wearables. We make things we're going to wear, and what happens when you wear something for a little while? You end up needing to wash it. So unless you plan on dry cleaning everything for the rest of your life, you need to know how your projects are affected by water. So when you do a gauge swatch, I think I might need a third blocking mat for this. It's going to be just longer, just a little bit longer than my 2 boards. Should we just go with it for now? Let's just go with it for now. So I'm going to, now that I know where my midpoint is, I'll start here because this side could be a little wonky on this table that's a little shorter than what I need it to be. Off camera, I would probably do this on the floor or on the kitchen counter. I do a lot of blocking on the floor just because I have plenty of space and nothing gets in the way. So back to what I was saying. How your project is affected by water is so important because you are going to wash your items after you've worn them, or your gift recipient is going to wash them after they've worn them. And so it's really important to know how your yarn is going to be affected by water. Another really important reason why weaving in your loose ends properly is important, because you need those to be able to react well with water as well. But anyway, so how your yarn is affected by water is a really important component to swatching. But the word itself, blocking, I think is often misused for the word laundering, because how you wash your gauge swatch and how you wash your finished pieces is actually the most important thing to learn once you're done making your project. And so hand washing, if you're not familiar with it, ends up becoming a skill that you need to learn. And when you start doing that, you also want to know what's the best kind of washing solution to use. And so over the years, I have discovered that finding something that is delicate for your fibers is very important. Something that doesn't have bleach or phosphates, because what happens is when you add chemicals to a soap, you actually tear down the fibers. And this is not only true for natural fibers, it's also true for synthetics. Have you ever noticed that your shapewear or your lingerie or your swimwear gets loose and saggy over time? It's because of the time spent in detergents filled with harsh chemicals and the time spent in the dryer. Honestly, anything that you could hand wash with a delicate wash, you will prolong the life of any garment, not just natural fibers, but certainly natural fibers as well. Wrapture All Natural Delicate Wash, made by Eucalan, is completely non-toxic. It has no harsh chemicals, no bleach, no phosphate, no petrochemicals. It's a no-rinse solution, so it takes less water to use it as well. And it doesn't even have synthetic fragrance. It's so non-toxic that you could actually consume it. Not that I would suggest you do that, but it's just nice to know that you're adding something to your fibers and to your water table that is completely non-toxic and not damaging to either your yarn, your person, or your environment. Okay, so now that we have all of our wires woven into those ends, you can already see how beautiful the lace is becoming, right? It totally transformed this piece. So now I want to show you, let's get the camera closer and I'll tip it down. I'm gonna tip it up. Thanks, Lisa. I love Wrapture too. So Wrapture is the scent that I created for Eucalan, and it is made with the essential oil of night blooming jasmine, which is one of the native plants here to Florida. And one of my favorite scents in the world. How does that look? Can everybody see that okay? I'll wait and see if I get any feedback. Does anybody like this view? or want me to change the camera at all, I'm willing to work with you before I get started, because this is a really beautiful tutorial if you are able to see it right. All right, Sherry says it looks great. Thanks for your feedback. I appreciate it very much. Okay, so I'm going to start in the midpoint just like I would if we were blocking manually, meaning without the wires, and I'm going to come up here and go to the opposite side. Look at how that stretches out the lace. Isn't that amazing? So now I can go to the end of my mat and do the same. And I can go to the end of my mat over here. When I do the midpoints, it'll come back on camera. Sure would be useful to have a cameraman on a day like today, huh? Oh, a girl can dream. Okay, so I did the midpoints there, and now I'll come over here and do the midpoints again. And you'll see that that's all you need for pins. I mean, if it looks like it's buckling here a little bit, so I'll maybe add a couple more pins. How many pins do you think I would need if I was doing this manually? I mean, I would need hundreds of pins, and I don't mind that process. I find it pretty soothing to sit and do you know, a mindless task like that sometimes. But I got to tell you, this is so fast, so uniform. I'm going to back the camera up again now so I can lift this up and show you. And then I'll explain how in a perfect world I would actually put this on a third mat. Okay, so there we go. So with a larger surface, I would have used 3 mats and been able to pin this all the way out, but you can see we were able to do most of it. And isn't that amazing? So cool. Does anybody have any questions about that? I'll come closer. See if anybody has any questions. Yeah, you could absolutely put an edge on that scarf too. Absolutely. Yes, Jane, they're available. I've shared all of this in my Amazon shop, and when we're done with the broadcast, I'll add the specific links to the mats, Wrapture, and the blocking pins when I do the video description. Yes, you can see the beads sparkle, absolutely, and we're not even in the sunlight. Once you get in the sunlight, you absolutely can. But if you like this kind of tutorial, let me know in the comments later today, and I'd be happy to do more tutorials like this too. Carolyn, I've done lots of blocking in other videos, absolutely. Yes, Judy, so quick to block this way. And definitely way more uniform than I would be able to do it manually. On a scalloped edge, I do prefer doing it manually, but you could also do a scalloped edge with the pins, and I can show, this one is crochet actually. I have knit and crochet patterns like this, but this one is crochet, and I'll put a link to that pattern and kit in the video description when I'm done too. Yes, I can definitely smell the Wrapture now. It smells so good. Hi, Shishi. Denisha had to turn up the brightness. You can see my dying strawberry plant back there. Yeah, DJ, I think it's fantastic. I love doing tutorial videos, but doing demos live means that you have the ability to answer too. Some things can't be done in real time because they take too long to do, but something like this that can be done in a relatively short period of time is a great project for a live demo, because then you can ask questions and get specifics. But I don't see any more questions. If you have any, I'd be happy to answer them. Jane's niece loves this scarf. That's awesome. I like to wear this scarf as a headband, like I'm wearing this one today. I also like to wear it as a skinny scarf wrapped around my neck once. Thank you. I'll put a link to this pattern too. This is done in that Delta flower that I that stitch that I love so much. You've seen this stitch in a hat before. We've done it in hats, I've done it in scarves, but this one is a little headband and done in a tidbit of Be So Fine yarn, just like this one is. Could I use this for the, yes, Sherry, this would be perfect for the Sally vest. In fact, we can do that tutorial on the floor one day. I'll need more space to do something that size, but I can absolutely do the Sally vest in a with blocking wires, because it has straight edges, so it would be a great project for blocking wires. Yeah, I'll put a link to this pattern, this pattern, this pattern, this kit, the blocking wires, the mats, and Wrapture as soon as I'm done. Yeah, definitely do all that. And if you can't find anything, you know the drill. Leave me a comment and I will help you the best I can. All right, well, I think that we're done with the tutorial then. It doesn't look like anyone has any questions, which means everybody feels good about what they learned today, and I'm so happy about that. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to my channel for more videos, and click that bell notification so you always know when I'm going live. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. I'll see you